Cameron Park is the crown jewel of Waco. Although it's very beautiful, there are a few areas that are potentially dangerous.
I'm standing here on the river trail below Emmons Cliff, and I want to talk about the rocks that make up the bluff like Emmons Cliff and the other bluffs in Cameron Park. These are made of the Austin Chalk, a rock formation that's very pretty, it's attractive, it's a major part of why people come to Cameron Park and want to be in this area. And it's the same rock that you find across the ocean at the Cliffs of Dover, so it's a very interesting rock type. It's in the group of rocks we call carbonates or limestones, and some of these rocks are very hard, but the Austin Chalk is in the Balcones Fault Zone, and that's caused it to be fractured. And so we have a lot of fractures in these rocks that cause them to break and fall off, like the rocks you see behind me that have fallen off the bluff, usually after a heavy rain. On top of that, we have clay in these rocks. It's got more clay than the average limestone, which is why we call it a chalk instead of a limestone. And that clay makes it very slick when it gets wet. That clay also swells when it gets wet and shrinks a little when it gets dry and breaks the rocks apart that way as well. And so this is a rock type that is very fragile and very tricky to be around. You can slip on it or it can break away at any moment. And as you look at these bluffs, the river is eroding underneath, causing an overhang, which means that if you were on the top and got too close or some rocks broke away, there would be nothing to impede your fall until you hit the bottom over 100 feet below. Now I'm at Circle Point on top of one of the bluffs in Cameron Park. And you can see there's a fence that's been built to keep people from getting too close to the edge of these dangerous cliffs. The fractured rocks can break away at any time, and so even though they look strong, they may give way. So it's safer to be back farther away from the edge where there's less likely to have one of those failures. It's important that you stay back behind the fence and not get too close to the edge on these dangerous cliffs.
It is the park ranger's sincere desire to keep everyone safe that visit the park, but it is extremely difficult when we have people violating city ordinances and going on the other side of the fence. So for your safety, obey the rules, obey the signs, and stay this side of the fence.